Coming off the heels of an incredible SummerSlam very first two-night SummerSlam over in the Meadowlands and in Jersey and Brooklyn. Man, we are on fire tonight for Smackdown. We got to talk about it and then some.
All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
And start the show indeed. What's up, everybody? We're a day late and $1 short, but that doesn't matter because you're here with me, and we're here to review the Smackdown Lowdown, Hoedown, Throwdown, Modown, Hoedown, No Down, No Now, Whoa Now. That's right. Smackdown was live last night. We have so much to talk about, from an electric WWE Championship match to the return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar, to so much other action that happened on this episode of SmackDown that included the return of John Cena, the face version of John Cena, that included the babyface extraordinaire, the quarterback QB1, and the WWE champion Cody Rhodes in his starting his second reign as champion. There's so much to happen. I'm your host, Virgil. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching. I'm standing in for one of my very best friends, Freaky Fritos, who is out on this episode. Hopefully he'll be back for the Sunday pod hosted by Big Daddy C. You don't want to miss that one. All right, so we're talking about SmackDown on August 8th. That's right. And we have so many things to get into first off, the show kicks off with the return of the former never seen 17-time world champion John Cena, who comes out and is the first person out the gate to open up the show. And he speaks to the audience, and he talks about how the audience is the show. He puts the fans over for a bit and continues cementing the fact that John Cena, guys, is officially a baby face again. Now, I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you watch Ariel Helwani and his podcast and his show that he does. He is one of the best in the business when it comes to interviewing the MMA guys as well as the wrestling guys. Well, him and Paul Heyman always have great discussions. Paul Heyman on his podcast mentioned that it just didn't work out. Things fell apart with Travis Scott and The Rock, and it just didn't work out. Dwayne's doing what Dwayne wants to do, which is movies. Like I said, and I mean, he features himself in on wrestling things when he wants to be, and then he takes off and leaves and drops the ball. So John Cena was left asked out as far as being a heel. You turn because you're siding with The Rock. Triple H and Travis Scott, I guess, didn't get along, or somebody and Travis Scott didn't get along. Things happened where they just weren't working out. Things didn't work out, and Travis Scott then eventually ended up not being able to be a part of things past WrestleMania. Things fell apart. But John Cena then, I guess, comes to the light. He held it his own as long as he could. But leading up to SummerSlam, he had to do what was right, which was return to babyface version of John Cena. During that SummerSlam match, we saw him drop the championship to Cody Rhodes. So, like I said, he got very emotional when the crowd chanted, "Thank you, Cena." And then he switched gears and said Lesnar can come find him if he wants a fight. And of course, you would think you'd hear round, and Brock Lesnar's music would hit, but no. Instead, you hear Logan Paul's music hit, and Logan Paul came out and he said that Cena is making him sick with the way he's been acting. The social media superstar then says that he wanted a match with Cena, but not tonight. He wants it in France at Clash in Paris. Before he could respond, Cena was blindsided, though, by none other than the Irish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. They stomped him into the mat until Cody Rhodes came out and made the save. Cena accepted Paul's challenge, but he also suggested a tag match with him and Rhodes versus McIntyre and Paul to take place on this show. Like I said, this segment in itself just sets up two of the matches for Clash. Obviously, you understand that you're going to get Logan Paul versus John Cena, but you also have to understand that we now know who Cody Rhodes' next challenger is for the WWE Championship, and that being Drew McIntyre. Um, Next up, we will do the Motor City Machine Guns versus JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. So Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin were both looking to bounce back after losing at SummerSlam, but they had a big challenge ahead of them in JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. Mateo is the widest member, and Tonga is the tallest, so they dwarfed MCMG in every conceivable way. And then you add in Sola and Tonga Loa at ringside, and the Guns were hugely outmatched in this clash. But Sabin and Shelley, having worked all over the world, this is not the first time that they had to face men that were bigger than them. And like I said, obviously they were underdogs throughout the match, had to fight their way back and forth. The first half was a bit of a slow side as the heels worked them over, but then once Shelley and Sabin got cooking, they brought that fast-paced offense. But then Tonga scored the win for his team with a big choke slam to Sabin. Um, and like I said, it's good that Mateo and Tonga got the win. It looks like like I said, they are now within the tag team division. They'll be the new tag team moving forward. So, like I said, we'll just have to see what happens from there. Sikoa also cut a promo after the match saying Mateo and Tonga will be the tag team champions someday. He said there was nobody left to fight him. But then Nick Aldis came out and told him Sami Zayn would be his opponent that night. So, yes, Sami Zayn looks like he is officially moving over to the blue brand, which I'm not mad about that either. Zayn got a warm welcome from the Quebec crowd as he came out to take on the United States champion in a non-title bout. I like this a lot better than doing Sammy and than doing Sammy trying to go after that World Heavyweight Championship. I like this a lot better. The former Bloodline teammates wasted no time getting into the action. They were trading punches shortly after the first made contact. Predictably, Sikoa's crew gave him some assistance when Tonga took Zayn down with a clothesline while the ref got distracted. Zayn began making a comeback when he returned from a commercial break. He ran through most of his signature moves, but the rest of the MFT started getting involved to keep Zayn occupied while Sikoa recovered. Then the Street Champ missed a Samoan spike, and Zayn rolled him up for a quick pin, much to the delight of the Montreal crowd. So, again, this was a solid match, setup match. Obviously, since he beat him, I expect that probably at Clash in Paris, you will see a United States Championship match where Sami Zayn will get an opportunity to fight Solo Sikoa for the title. I don't expect that he'll win, but he will fight him. Obviously you're in Quebec, Canada, so you're going to get a huge bump from the crowd for Sami Zayn. So next up we have Charlotte Flair that brings out Alexa Bliss to the ring to help celebrate their title win and Lexi's birthday. That's right. She gave Bliss a doll to be Lily's tag team partner, a blonde doll named Charlie. Chelsea then interrupted them, and it led to Nick Aldis booking Charlotte versus Chelsea in a match. The match got started after a break and saw the Queen take control with ease. Green took a breather at ringside and hung Flair up on the ropes to take over. The match got more competitive as it went, but it never felt like Green stood a real chance against Charlotte Flair. Even with Alba Fire and Piper Niven at the ringside, the former U.S. champ just seemed outmatched, outclassed in this. The Queen ended up slamming Green's face into a cake she had brought for Alexa. This allowed her to put on the figure eight for the win. Again, pretty basic match. You expected the tag champs to go over in this match. They're still building them up. Eventually, these two are going to end up fighting each other. And it could be Lexi turning. I want to stop calling her by her real name. It could be Alexa Bliss turning on Charlotte Flair. But as it sits right now, this has worked wonders for Charlotte Flair's career. She's having the most fun, admittedly of her own accord. She's having the most fun she's had in a long time in WWE. And there's no pressure. She's not in the main event. She's just one of the gals in the back. and she's working her tail off, and she's just having fun. The crowd is cheering her. It's working. Her gimmick is working. She don't have to worry about getting booed and being dissed and everything like that. So like I said, it was cool. It was cool. Next up, we go to Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And like I said, man, these SmackDowns are way shorter since they're only 2 hours. So the tag match gets majority of the time on this one. Um, so the match didn't get going until there was only 10 minutes left in the show. So we knew this wouldn't be a very long match, but it would need to accomplish what it needs to accomplish. Paul and Rhodes started for their teams as chants of Cody filled the arena. The 10-minute time was cut shorter by a commercial break, so it never actually felt like we got enough out of this match. But Paul ended up obviously causing the DQ by hitting Cena with a low blow. They fought to the backstage area, leaving Rhodes and McIntyre to continue fighting near the ring. Then the Scottish psychopath, I called him the Irish Warrior, didn't I? I'm sorry, the Scottish Warrior hit Rhodes with the WWE title, which is a good indication that he will be the next challenger for the belt. The show ended with McIntyre kicking Rhodes so hard that he went through the front of the announce table. Obviously, so Cena Rhodes wins by DQ. John Cena had a really fun moment backstage with R-Truth, where I guess I was forgiven between those two. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it just was one of those things. It was a good match all the way around. Like I said, to accomplish what I need to accomplish, build up Cena versus Logan Paul going into Clash, and then of course Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes going into Clash also. So for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre is going to beat the hell out of Cody Rhodes. I expect it full on, but Cody Rhodes will still probably retain his WWE Championship in that match against Drew McIntyre. I just also expect that too. So I like Drew McIntyre as the next opponent for Cody Rhodes. I think that he's a strong candidate to really make Cody look good. I do not expect Drew to take the title from Cody during this feud. But I do expect them to go at it and probably have a trilogy of matches. Drew McIntyre is a very, very good competitor. He's also going to push Cody Rhodes to the limit when it comes to promos. He's going to really make Cody look bad as a white meat babyface, or at least trying to be a white meat babyface. So be on the lookout for that. But once again, y'all, this is the episode. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you tune in to all of our stuff. Guys, we have NXT, we have AEW, we have Raw, we have SmackDown, we cover PLEs, pay-per-views, and we are officially, once I'm back from sabbatical fully, we're going to drop a TNA show every Thursday night. Also, TNA is moving on to bigger and better things. And of course, we cannot cover all different types of wrestling and not cover total nonstop action wrestling. So once again, appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on SmackDown. Are you excited for Logan Paul versus John Cena? Are you excited for Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre? Both potentially happening in that clash. Remember, until next time, keep those booking pencils sharp. Keep on booking.